back to my channel. So you want to travel solo but you don't know how to start. Luckily you came to the right place, and today I'm just gonna be giving you guys a guide on how to travel solo, because traveling solo can be really intimidating, but it's actually not that bad. If I can do it, I feel like anybody can do it. So I'm gonna be giving you guys my 7 rules on how to travel solo, and you might want to grab a pen, a paper, because you about to be taking notes. I know before I even went on any solo trips, I was like terrified of the thought of going to another country by myself, but I promise you it is not that bad. So we're gonna jump right into it. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Flossy Baby Show once again. I have my phone here and I'm just going to be reading off my little notes that I took for y'all. Rule number 1, preparation. This means getting used to being alone. If you're thinking about traveling alone, you're gonna have to start getting used to being by yourself. It's just gonna make things so much easier if you get into the habit of just being by yourself, doing things alone. That way when you travel by yourself, it doesn't feel strange, it doesn't feel weird or uncomfortable. So a great way to do this, which is something I started out doing, every week I would take myself on a date. I know it sounds really cheesy, but not only does it help you just get used to being by yourself, it's also another way to practice self-love. So you're really killing 2 birds with 1 stone. I would take myself out on dates, and if you can't go every week because of your schedule or whatever reason, try to go at least bi-weekly or once a month. But I think this is so essential to getting you into the habit of being alone. So I would take myself out on dates, go to your favorite restaurant, go sit in a restaurant by yourself. I know the thought of that frightens a lot of people, but I feel like if you can't even go to Cheesecake Factory by yourself, you are not going to Mexico alone, baby. Come on. It starts with the little things. I would highly recommend doing things like taking yourself out to dinner, go shopping by yourself. Anything that you would think of doing with someone else, do by yourself, basically. At first, when I would go out to restaurants by myself, it would feel a little awkward. Social anxiety is very real. But after just doing it so many times, number 1, you learn to just stop caring about what people think, and you also just realize nobody is thinking about you. Literally everybody around you is in their own heads. You think they're thinking about what you're doing or what you're wearing or what you're saying, but really they're thinking about what they're doing and what they're wearing and what they're saying. Like, everybody lives in their own head because everybody is the main character in their own story. So no one's really thinking about you as much as you think they are. Just really helped me in being by myself and just like staying calm when I'm by myself, because like no one is really paying attention. I mean, people might look at you, they might like glance over you, but guess what? They're gonna look at you for 2 seconds and get back to doing what they were doing. That's step number 1, preparation. Like I said, if you cannot be alone in the city that you live in, you're not gonna be able to be alone in another state or another country. Baby steps, we gotta work our way up. Now we have step number 2, research. Do your research. I cannot stress this enough. Do your research, baby. I don't care if you're going to Idaho or Indonesia. You need to do your research, because you need to know where you are going and what to expect when you get there. Every time I travel solo, I always do an extensive research. I'm looking up the weather. I need to know what the weather is gonna be like when I get there. I need to know what kind of clothes the people wear there, what kind of food they have there, what language is spoken there, what kind of currency that they use. And transportation, it's really, really important. You need to know how you're going to be getting from airport to hotel, hotel to activity, activity back to hotel. You need to know how you're going to be getting around this place. just do your research so when you get there you are prepared. I'd also just like to mention that every time I travel alone, I always stay in a hotel. I don't do Airbnbs when I'm traveling solo. If I'm going on a group trip, I don't really mind doing an Airbnb because I'm not by myself, I have other people. But every time I travel solo, I always do a hotel or like a resort. I'm just throwing that out there because I feel like that is honestly the safest thing to do as a solo traveler. I'm not stopping anybody from getting an Airbnb. If you find an Airbnb and you just have to stay there, go ahead, go crazy. But I'm just saying, I as a woman feel much safer in a hotel and a resort than I would at an Airbnb, because that's somebody's house. You staying in somebody's house by yourself. That's just something I wanted to throw in there. I prefer to do hotels or resorts when traveling solo. So that was number 2, research. Do your research. Okay, number 3, this is my favorite part, an itinerary. You need to have an itinerary. I mean, it's not mandatory, but I 150% recommend having an itinerary. I will not travel anywhere without knowing what I'm gonna be doing every single day that I'm there. If I'm with a group of people, of course, I don't mind freestyling it. Even then, I still prefer some kind of itinerary, a list. But I feel like if you're traveling alone, you need to come with a game plan. You need to know what you're gonna be doing, where you're gonna be going, everything that's gonna happen during your stay at this place. Unless you are just one of those people who just wake up and the rest of your day is fueled by vibes, good for you. But I thought I heard something. Anyway, having an itinerary is so crucial. Every single activity that I do on vacation, I already have booked in advance. So there's no surprises unless I randomly decide to do something just by being spontaneous. But I already show up to these places knowing what I'm gonna be getting into each day. I book all of my activities through Expedia. This is not sponsored by Expedia, but Expedia, if you're watching this, I'm like a loyal member. Please give me a sponsorship. Me and Expedia are best friends. Hey. But yeah, this is not sponsored. I'm really just trying to put y'all on so traveling alone can be as easy as possible for y'all. I use the Expedia app and you can book your hotel, your flights, and all your activities that you plan on doing when you get there, all on this app. And I think that's amazing. I usually just book my flights and my activities on the Expedia app. I like to book my hotel on the hotel website because you get it at a cheaper rate. I don't know if everybody's aware of that, but there goes a free little tip for you. Yeah, I highly recommend Expedia. I don't know what everybody else is doing, but I'm rocking with Expedia because she makes my life easier. I'm rocking with Expedia because she making my life easier. I'm rocking with Expedia because she making my life easier. Expedia, y'all need to sponsor me. I need a commercial. Anyway, that is rule number 3, having an itinerary. Also, you don't want to wait until you get there to start looking for activities to do, because there's just no guarantee that you'll be able to get tickets for whatever it is that you're trying to do, because things get booked pretty quickly. So it would just be smarter to book everything ahead. So number 4, I call this my travel must-haves. As a woman who travels by herself, I cannot go anywhere without pepper spray and my taser. Of course, you don't have to be a woman to carry these things, but I just feel like if you are a woman, it's just not negotiable. It's a man's world and we're just living in it, so we have to protect ourselves. Safety is first. That's rule number 4, travel must-haves. Some sort of weapon that you can use to protect yourselves. My pepper spray and my taser, 2 iconic duos, period. Rule number 5, being aware. Being aware means constantly paying attention to your surroundings, because since you are alone, you are the only one looking after yourself. You need to be alert at all times. You don't have to be like paranoid, because that's gonna take the fun out of being on the trip. Enjoy yourself, but still be alert. especially if you're a woman. Another key part of being aware is just being cautious of who you are interacting with everywhere that you go. There will be strangers that are going to talk to you, especially if you are gorgeous like I am. Be nice, you know, make friends. I've always made friends every single time I travel alone, but just be smart about what you are telling these people and how much you're telling them. Anytime somebody asks you if you are by yourself, the answer is always no. It's always no. Oh, I'm with my family, or I'm here with a group of friends. Get creative with your lie, okay? You can even tell them niggas you on a work trip with 8 other co-workers. Whole time you unemployed. Never disclose to anyone that you are there by yourself, because you just never know what people's intentions are, and you do not want to jeopardize your safety. So yeah, just be careful with who you interact with. Of course, make friends, but always keep it at the back of your mind that this is still a stranger and I need to be careful. So just be really aware. That's rule number 5, be aware. And rule number 6, we're almost done, y'all. We got one more rule after this. Rule number 6, check in daily with friends or family. Checking in can be as simple as just sending your friend a text like, hey, I'm literally having a margarita, or sending them a selfie, or just little updates to let your loved ones know that you are alive. And this doesn't have to be like every single hour of the day, because that's annoying and I'm trying to enjoy my vacation. You can check in once or twice a day. If something does happen to you, they will realize this person didn't check in with us today. Is everything okay? You know, so you want to be on somebody's radar in case something happens. Find at least one person that you trust and check in with them regularly. And my last rule that I got for y'all is have fun. Like, I know I said a lot today and I gave y'all so many tips and advice, but this is probably the biggest tip that I could give you, and it's to have fun. You will be fine, okay? You're gonna have the time of your life, and then after you have that first trip, every trip after that is just so easy, I promise you. Another suggestion that I have, if you don't want your first solo trip to be out of the country, because that might be a bit much for you, I would say start by traveling to another city by yourself, and then just go from there. Like, you have to start from somewhere. I'm absolutely rooting for you. If you want to start traveling alone, you can absolutely do it. Don't let fear hold you back. Also, don't sit around all day and wait on other people to do what you want to do, because you will be literally waiting forever. Sometimes your friends are not gonna have the same schedule as you, and you're gonna want to travel here and they're not gonna have time for that, or they may have the time but they don't have the money. Something's always going on. Life is too short to be sitting around waiting on people forever, you know? If you want to do something, if you want to go somewhere, go. Dior wanted to say hi, y'all. Look at him. Oh, I don't know how I forgot to even mention this, because I did get a lot of people asking me like, how are you taking your pictures if you're by yourself? If you're gonna travel solo, get a tripod. Invest in a tripod, you won't regret it. I personally don't like to have to rely on strangers to take my pictures. Somebody could literally run off with your phone and you would be shit out of luck. I always bring a tripod every time I travel by myself. It comes with a little clicker. You literally just stand and click and click and click, and it takes the pictures. Get a tripod unless you're comfortable with strangers taking your pictures. In that case, go off. Yeah, I think I've pretty much like covered everything I wanted to talk about today. I hope I'm not missing anything, but if you guys have any more questions, or there's anything that I didn't mention that you're kind of wondering about, feel free to leave it in the comment section and I will be replying to the best of my knowledge. I hope this was very helpful for you guys. Like I said, y'all, life is short and we cannot sit around and wait on nobody. Enjoy life, don't overthink it, but be careful, have fun, take care of yourselves. You deserve it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.